Good morning, this is Regina at Count Station Honey Farm. This morning, it's kind of rainy outside, a little cool for a spring morning, so we are going to make some butter. I have a couple of they're called daisy churns, and they were used years ago by our grandparents and our parents, and a lot of the people came before us. And what they did is they poured their cream in here, and then they had the chore of turning, and they would turn until their butter took and separated from their cream, from their milk. However, today, since we are a little more, we do have electrical appliances, you know, we're going to do it the easy way. So we'll set these aside and think how pretty they are, and we'll go with what we know. Okay, so I've got my KitchenAid. I have one. First of all, before you do anything, make sure that you take and put all of your ingredients down, because you don't want to be running every place trying to get it. So we've got our whole whipping cream. I got a quart of that, and I measured it out in just a quart jar. And then I've got some ice water for when it breaks. I've got salt to put in it. Now you can either put salt in your butter or you can leave it out. Either way, however you like it. And then I have some old, these are pre-World War II Jello modes, and they're kind of cute. Now a lot of mine I'll take and put in a bigger jar if I'm gonna, or a bigger dish if I'm just gonna cook with it and use it at home. But if I'm gonna have a little company, and I think my sister's gonna come, I want it kind of pretty. And then plus John and Chris might come too, so like to do this. So I'm going to keep these out. I've got 3 of them. So I'll take you through it step by step. First of all, we're going to take and we're going to add, this is our cream, 1 quart, heavy whipping cream. Now if you don't have a cow, that's fine. That's okay. You can go and you can get your whipping cream at the supermarket. Now, the thing is, look at the ingredients. Make sure that it has no hormones, nothing in it, because you don't want all that in your body. So we're going to put that in our bowl. And we're going to let it drip. Now, we're going to take our beater mode to our mixer, and we're just going to hook it on. Now first of all, because you like your walls and your ceiling, and maybe you've got nice hair that you don't want to mess up, you're going to start out slowly. Now once you start, you can up it a little bit, and I take and leave it there as it's beating. What you're going to do now is you're simply going to take, you want it to break. You want your cream to break into butter fat, and then you'll have your milk left, which is buttermilk. And I can show that to you in a little while. Now this process is going to probably take 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll be back when we get closer to that point, okay? Okay, now we have got our cream to the whipping cream stage. I wanted to show you this before we went on. I think everybody's made homemade whipped cream. This is just a plain homemade whipped cream. Now if you take it past this point, you have a butter stage. So whenever you're making your whipped cream, you want to remember that too. So, but this is the first stage that your butter is going to turn into. It's going to turn into a whipped cream. So once you get at this stage, we're going to go on. Okay, now our cream here, the whipping cream is starting to turn into butter now. We've got a breaking started. Now when you look down into your bowl, and I'll take and lift this so you can see it. You'll notice a yellow color taking effect in your bowl. Now this is a much thicker solid product, and when you feel it, it's a little more coarse too. So this is what your product is turning into. So from this point, the next thing you're going to start mixing, keep mixing, and you're going to hear a slushing sound. Will be in about probably 3 to 5 minutes. And when that happens, you'll have your butter fat released from its milk. So we will be back in just a second when this gets ready to turn over so you can hear that. Okay, now we have got our whipped cream whipped into butter. Now I want you to listen. Yeah, they're listening to you too, Holmes. Go on over there, get it going. I want you, he has to be in the picture. Okay, I want you to hear the sound, if Holmes will quit talking, of the separating of the butter and the milk. And then I'm going to show it to you in the bowl. So listen real quiet. Do you hear the splashing of the milk in the bowl? Okay, now let's see what we've got here so far. Other than you, Holmes. Now this is pretty cool. I'm going to let it go just a second longer. Now you should really be able to hear it. Okay, now I'm going to show you in the, see your butter? There's your butter. Now right now it's in little kind of droplets in there. And I'm going to show you where your cream and your butter fat can you see the difference about where your cream and your butter fat is there? Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to continue whipping until it makes more of a solid mass. This is just taking more of the milk out of your butter fat. And then we will be draining it off into this jar because the milk that we put into this jar is going to be our buttermilk, so you don't have to waste any of your product. And I'm going to show you how to make cultured buttermilk. Now you can have buttermilk that's just regular buttermilk, but since I like to bake cakes and do like different dressings and things, I want the buttermilk. So that's what we're going to do. In just a few seconds, I'm going to pull this off and I'm going to pour it into our mason jar. And like I say, that's what we're going to do. Now you can really hear it. Okay, so there we have it. And now when we pull up our mixer, we will see that our butter has become more solid. Now we're just going to pull it off of here, off of our blender, or off of our beater. Now, remember that your beater is going to drip a little bit also, so have you a little towel to lay under there so it won't mess up your mixer stand too much. Okay, now we're going to take our milk and we're going to pour it into our jar here. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Hang on just a second. I want to make sure that I get all my butter this way. Okay. Here's our solid mass of butter. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got a clean counter. I'm going to lay it right down on the tea towel there, and I'm going to finish pouring my milk off. If I can. Now, I'm going to put it right back on, and let it beat a little longer. Now, I want to take and remove all of the milk that I can from our butter. So, we're just going to start it slowly. Make sure you lock down your mixer or whatever you're using. Now, it's going to be sticking pretty much to your beater. Now, here's the important part that I want you to know. Turn it down on low because you don't want to spray porting it. We've got some cold water that's got ice in it. Make sure the ice cubes do not get into your butter, but take and pour your cup of cold water over your butter because you're rinsing your butter. Now the water mixture that you're getting from this, of course, you will not be using that in your buttermilk. This is all that we're going to be using in our buttermilk for this turn. Now just pull it off of your blade again because it's really getting nice and formed now. Your butter should be. And look at the pretty colored yellow. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want it to rinse really good. Lock your mixer down, put it on low again, and let it rinse it off. And this is going to cause more of a forming of your butter too, so make sure you do that. Now, like I say, the mixture in here, the water, you do not want to do anything with. You do not have to do anything with that. So, just throw it away. Now, in your bowl, loosen your butter from the whisk there, the little beater. Now, this is where you want to add your salt. Now, you do not have to add salt to your butter. If you eat unsalted butter, or if you use unsalted butter for baking, you do not have to. Now, my family, we take, and I do a little bit of unsalted butter, but I don't do a whole lot because a lot of my recipes don't call for that. So, I really do not do that. But you're going to put your salt in at this point. Now, for a quart, I'm going to take and add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, the salt that I'm using today is just the sea salt, the fine, and it's has no iodine in it. It's iodine free. So, I've got a teaspoon of salt. Now, just sprinkle it over, let it mix it in. Now, 2. If you want to have butter that is, let's say, basil flavored or lavender flavored or chives or whatever, you can do that also. Now is when you put your herbs in. So you can just do that, and then when you have your baked potato, you know, you got it. So, okay. Now, what we're doing now is I'm just whipping a little bit of air in my butter. And like I say, it holds pretty close to the beater, but so during this process you probably have to go pretty high. Okay, and voila, butter. Now what we're going to do now is I've got my little cups, and I showed those to you earlier, and we're going to take our butter and take it off of we take it off of this thing a lot. So, you're finished with your little beater. Lay it aside. Now, take the butter that you're going to, and we're going to mold it in this. So take your amount of butter that you're going to need for that and just press it down into your mold. Make sure that you get all the crevices because you want it to be pretty. Now we're going to do this to all of our little butter containers, and I'll be back in just a second after we put them in the refrigerator to set up, because I want to show you how to make your buttermilk. Now we're back with our finished product of butter. We've got 3 of the little pretty gelatin mold butters for when we have company, and then of course I made some of the big butter that I just stick in my freezer or my refrigerator and I have when I cook. So, and do remember, whenever you're getting ready to make your butter, you can make butter with other herbs in it too. So just don't stick with the one type. You know, do the one with the chives and things too, because it's great with your baked potatoes. Well, that's all for today, and I'll be coming with you again. Me in the homes probably, because you'll be barking all the way through. Thank you from Count Station Honey Farm.